welcome to Sage and Stone Homestead. If you have not met me yet, my name is Heather, and I feel like I am the last person to realize how to properly boil farm fresh eggs so that they peel nicely. If you are not aware, fresh eggs can be really tough to peel. It's like, I don't know, the shell and the membrane really sticks to the white and you can lose half the egg while you try to peel it. Well, apparently, this is very simple. I'm sure a lot of people knew this. I didn't. I've seen it in two separate places lately. The egg has a top and a bottom. This here is the bottom, this here's the top. Usually the top is more pointed, and a lot of times you'll store farm fresh egg with the pointed side down. And that's because this bottom side has an air pocket in it, and there's something about them lasting longer if the air pocket is facing upward. I don't really understand the science, I just do it. But this is the end that you actually either crack or pierce before you boil it with a fresh egg, so that I guess water can enter in the egg and help that membrane separate from the white of the egg itself. And we've done it a couple times with just cracking the bottom of the egg, and it does work. But I saw this on Amazon for $2.99, so I got it. There's this little pin in the middle that comes up and pierces the egg. So we just set it down and put the egg on top. Oh, that's scary. Did it work? Oh, see, I cracked my whole thing. Well, that wasn't the goal. It'll still work. Like, some of the white might come out of the egg, but obviously we can still eat it. Maybe this is a me problem. I got a little hole there. Oh, that was a lot. That was too much again. Oh no. Maybe cracking it on the counter is really the best, because I haven't had it go wrong that way yet. See, just a little bit. We just want the water to be able to get in. This is a guinea egg. They're a little bit tougher. I'm scared I'm gonna crack the whole thing. A little bit. Other people have shown this and it was really cool. Maybe my eggshells are a little weak. They don't feel weak to me, but I don't know. You can just tap the egg on the countertop and get the same result, same effect. I'll show you. It a little bit, trying to get it off, but that's not bad. There's a little bit coming off with this shell. Not as perfect there. I think it is doing something. The top never falls off like that for me, and it's doing it on all of them. I have always wondered, you know how we crack eggs in a bowl before we add them to a recipe just in case they've gone bad? Have any of you ever boiled a bad egg? I know that a bad chicken egg is going to float, so maybe people haven't because of that, but that sounds like a horror story. I would like to get these little babies. They're not that little. They're probably 60 or more pounds each, these babies here. I'd like to move them into our back buck area. While they're in here, I'm having to feed grain, like more than normal, and alfalfa for them to keep a good condition. My bucks that are in the back buck pen look absolutely gorgeous, and they have had a little bit of grain, but that's it. And so I'd like to get these guys out there. There's plenty of grass. We've had a lot of rain. And the thing is, I don't necessarily want to carry them the whole way. They're not super tame, but they are food motivated, so I'm hoping that they'll follow me with a bucket. So we're gonna see. Now our entire property is fenced in, so if they happen to like run away, they can't go too far. So let's see. You gonna follow me? Ready? Come on. They are actually a little bit leery of me in here with them without a fence in between us. And so I think I am gonna have to carry them one by one. You're growing very well. Hey, handsome. Hi. You gonna show him the ropes? Lots of grass out here, and clover, and all the goodness. I'd like to move these three too. These guys might follow a bucket. The Lamont just figured it out. The Nubian, not so much. Hear that? Nothing does that but pneumonia. Okay, hang on. So he doesn't even have any discharge, but that's obvious. So I've got the meds for that. Alright, so put your arm around his neck, sort of. Yeah, and then around his back end so he can't back up. Just like that. This burns a little, so he's gonna move, okay? We found the water, and that's good. We want them to know where the water is. And there's actually 3 separate shelters in this big spot. So they're gonna spend the day with the big boys, figuring out where things are. You're gonna show them the ropes. Tell them to stay away from the bees, okay? Ruckus, mind your business. Oh, that naughty boy. Mind your business. Thank you, thank you. Ruckus. He's so bad. Oh, he's gonna open it. Do you see that, Addie? Yeah. Watch him.
Is the fence off?
Yeah, the fence is off. I think. I think so. We're gonna check it. Yeah, it is. I was going in and out of there and didn't turn it on. So y'all know we moved the goats out of the weaner pen, and we're kind of hemming and hawing over what to put in there, because if we don't have any animals in that little run, then it's gonna grow up and we have to mow it. And really a lot of animal shuffling that we do this time of year is to help us maintain our land. And we have the ducks and turkeys out here. They've kind of exhausted this area, especially in this one spot right here where the pool is, or was. But we haven't actually mowed or anything in here. You can see it's a little bit grown up around the outside, but they look like they're doing a good job mowing in there, so we figured we'd stick them over here. I already have their little oasis set up, so I just needed help catching them so we can pitch them over. There you go. Yeah. Ow. Those things are strong. Truly, some of these turkeys could probably go in the freezer soon. Oh, so soft. These are ducks. Hi, baby. I got your pool all set up. They have a lot of foliage to get under for shade, and I did clean out the little inside part of this barn. And the clean out's basically a ramp to that door, and then here's the inside all cleaned out and bedded, and there's extra water in here too, because those ducks, they certainly make a mess of the water fast. Today is actually a feels like temperature of 102. I don't usually like moving animals when we're going through a little bit of a heat wave, but this is kind of one of those things where I needed to do it, or I was never going to do it because the summer is just hot. So we got it done. We need to process a few rabbits this weekend. We may go ahead and process them tomorrow. This Californian, and then this pretty bunny in here. Their kits turned 8 weeks old this past week, so they're ready to wean, and those mothers aren't going to be continuing in my program. So instead of putting them out on grass or out in the elevated tractors, I'm just going to raise them in here. This mom we are keeping, and so I did move her kits out into a tractor today. Do you guys like it? They actually seem a lot cooler out here. I have read that grass in the shade is cooler than dirt in the shade, and I don't know what it is about the grass. I need to look a little bit more into that, but they seem comfortable. At least more comfortable than they were inside the barn. Truthfully though, these guys aren't doing too bad. 102 isn't the worst. It's not great, but it's not the worst. And it is nice in here. There is a good breeze today.
I honestly don't think I'll get that many.
You don't think you'll get that many? Yeah. You will. How many potatoes did you plant? Like 10 or 12?
Well, it was in the shape of a star, so it's kind of...
Okay,
and then there was
see.
one in the middle. The mushroom's melting.
Yep. Look at how big that is.
That's a chunky one.
Is that the original one?
No. Look, if you pull up the whole plant, sometimes the whole cluster comes with, and you can shake.
Hey, ooh.
Do you want help with it? Or do you want to do them all?
I mean, I'd like some help. Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Wow.
Aw. This one's gotten bitten.
Yeah, that's okay. You can put that in there. It healed okay. Did you see how this one started to grow again?
Whoa. Yeah, some of them have been doing that.
Yeah, we'll have to process those because they won't store very well. Wow, look how big.
Oh, that might be the biggest one.
Wow.
That's a big one.
Yeah. The roly-polies are breaking down the old potatoes and the wood and stuff. They're okay. They're so big.
There's so many of them.
Wow, look at how big. They're bigger than I expected that they would be.
Me too. I definitely thought they were going to be smaller.
Yeah.
My name is Jerry. Oh gosh, it's heavy.
Great.
That's a lot.
Beautiful. Are you so proud?
I like them.
Was that easy?
It was easier than I thought it was.
Yeah.
They're also easier to find than I thought they would be.
Mm-hmm. We grew these from store-bought potatoes. It doesn't always work well because a lot of store-bought potatoes have a growth inhibitor on them. Worked well in this case.
I'm excited to make stuff out of these.
Yeah. Good morning. So today's feels like temperature is warmer than it was. It's gonna be about 116 on the feels like, which is the warmest that we've felt all summer. And so I'm actually glad at this point that we didn't move the pigs. This was one of the moves that I wanted to make. I want to get Chloe out of here so that I can continue to feed Lufa, who is our meat pig for the year, without allowing Chloe to get super fat. Last year when I had a couple grow up pigs in here, Chloe was, I called her like a tabletop. She was essentially a cube or a square, and she's looking good right now. Like her back is totally flat with corners. Lufa. But I don't want her getting super fat. I mean, she's probably a little overweight, but we don't want to make it worse. However, with the temperatures that are going to be what they're going to be, I don't want Lufa to try to have a different situation. Pigs do not have sweat glands, and they handle the heat the least well out of all the animals. You gotta get your zoomies out before the heat comes too, because you don't handle it well either. Hey, no. No. I don't know if I mentioned it on here or not, but Nugget ate a frog the other day. And so that was a $300 vet visit. His $300 frog, we've been calling it. I didn't realize that they would have such great digestive upset from eating a frog. I never saw him do it, but that's what the vet says she thinks he did. But this is where we pulled 3 of the baby goats out of. And so Lufa already has a pool here all set up, but we have a serious lack of shade here. There is this little shade house right there, but that's it. And so I don't really want to stick Lufa out here when it's going to be 116. Again, that's the feels like temperature. That's not the actual temperature. I'll have to put down here what the actual temperature is. Are you coming with me? Are you going to be good? All right. So this still needs to be weed whacked in here. Again, it's going to be too hot for that mess. Good morning, little bee. They're doing their thing, that's for sure. Can't remember where that one, here it is. This is the one squash we pollinated. I don't know if it really did anything. There's actually a little mold growing on that blossom end. But in any case, the bees will do a much better job than I will anyway. I recently hung these traps up for the Japanese beetles. Looks like we're catching a few. But the ducks will love those treats. I think I'm actually going to take the tromboncino off this morning before it gets too hot. I didn't bring out a wagon or anything, but I'm just going to stick them in the greenhouse for now. I'm having a little bit of a struggle because a lot of them, not a lot, but some of them actually grew through the paneling. I think I've shown this one on video before. Then I've got this one too, which should slip through, but it's actually attached on the other side, and I can't get my nippers through there. These guys are actually starting to turn yellow as well. The mosquitoes are back out again. I think I was just talking about how the mosquitoes really weren't that bad. And then in the last garden tour, they were bad. Today they're bad. Oh my gosh. It's like they bite you in the back. Makes it really hard to want to work outside. That's for sure. The heat's one thing, the bugs are something else. This guy's no good. Oh, you probably missed that one. This one was heavy. No, good boy. That one is stuck, so it lives there for now. It'll be fine there. I cut it off the vine and it'll just cure out here. I don't want to break it until I'm ready to use it, so it'll be fine until I want to make soup again. This is not a soup kind of day. Bye, goats. Come here. Hi. Hi, boys. I think they're all probably in there. Hi! Yep. So the 5 babies we moved are adjusting well. Pretty sure all the boys are in there, which is good. This is their big house. They've been favoring the little pallet houses though. Strange. Good morning, birds. Yes, we've learned we have at least one tom. I think there might be 2. Hey sir, you're looking gorgeous. They've been preferring this like pokeweed forest over here. Hi! Has that been your shade? They're doing pretty good. The ducks are out foraging. Even though it has been hot, I've been spending a lot of the time inside lately preserving tomatoes. I thought that I was really only going to have enough tomatoes for fresh eating this year and then maybe a little bit of canning, but those tomatoes are actually surprising me with how much they're producing. I wasn't sure because of some of those beds being brand new beds and how some of my tomatoes kind of had like a rough start, but we've actually been able to preserve quite a lot. This is tomato sauce down here. It's a little bit dark over here, sorry, but this is some crushed tomatoes. This is actually the second batch of crushed tomatoes that I have done. I've done a little bit of tomato confit with the cherry tomatoes. And then up there, there's a whole flat of pizza sauce, almost. There's a little half pint in there you can't see. And then I've got all these. A lot of these aren't quite fully ripe, so I'm gonna leave these here. These I can process in the next day or so. And I think I'm gonna make more salsa, which is another thing I have done recently with the tomatoes. So I've done a lot more than I thought. I actually saw there was a roasted salsa from 2023 on the shelf. Yeah, look, that one's peach salsa from 2023. Yeah, we've got some new roasted salsa. Of course, it's dusty. I had someone ask me where I store things like my onions, my squash, and my potatoes. And as far as the potatoes go, I never usually grow enough in order to have to worry about how to store them. I actually have some potatoes down here, just in the same basket that I harvested them. We will eat these pretty soon. And I've got some in the shed. Bentley's potatoes that we harvested. I'm pretty sure he wants to make what? French fries, hash browns. We're gonna essentially be preserving them for the freezer.
I'm not sure what I want to make next.
You've got time to think about it, because I'm definitely not doing it today. And the onions and squash actually go up here. This shelf is attached to like the rafters of our house. Levi made sure that this was very, very secure. And there's not a lot up here right now, but this is where the squash lives. Or if it fits on a shelf, it could sit on it. So we don't have a root cellar or anything, and we rely a lot on drying and canning for the things that I can't put in random spots in my house or in the shed. The squash that we harvested in the garden tour is still out here, just kind of sitting. They'll be fine out here for a little bit. I need to clean off that shelf in the house. It's pretty dusty. Buckets beat upable? Thinking about it. All 5 little babies are in the shade, but the big boys are out eating. There's a storm coming and it's gonna cool us down a lot. What you got right there? Looks kind of like a hot spot on a dog. You licking it? This is my lavender tort, silver fox buck. He handles the heat a lot less well than some of my other animals. He's doing pretty okay. He's drooling a little bit, which makes me nervous, but I'm getting to know him. Oh, come here. And it seems like just part of what he does. He drools a little bit, but he handles the heat relatively okay. I don't know what this spot on him is. Come here, dude. Kind of looks like he's grooming a lot in that area. I can't see anything really wrong with it. So I think for now, I'm just gonna keep an eye on him and focusing on keeping him cool for today. Come here. Keep rabbits cool, you can also spray their ears with a little bit of water, and it's like evaporative cooling for their system. They don't always love it, but they get used to it. Oh, good job, buddy. There we go. Relief is on the way. Did you guys see that? I literally just set out the fall brassicas to start acclimating them into the actual full sunlight versus the grow lights, and cabbage moth immediately landed on, I think it's actually the perennial cauliflower that I bought that it landed on. So I think that answers a question that I had, is whether or not cabbage loopers really had more of a season. Some insects in the garden, some pests, really are only a problem for a short amount of time, and then, you know, their breeding season essentially is over, and I'm not sure that cabbage loopers have functioned that way. This is the first time that I have planted out brassicas, or will have planted out brassicas, this early in the season. My goal is to hopefully have all this harvested out by Thanksgiving time, definitely by Christmas time, so that I can amend for next year's spring garden. What's been happening to me is I will plant out my fall garden, and a lot of the stuff just isn't at maturity maturity by the time we get super, super cold and our days get super, super short. So what the plants are doing is they're going into dormancy over the winter, and then they're picking back up in springtime, but they're usually not harvested until about March, and by then I really like to have a lot of spring things in. So it just throws things off. So speaking with a few locals, I was told that I need to be getting starts in the ground by July. And we're like at the end of July now, and so I've really got to get these out and going. But I think what I might have to do is actually do a weekly spray for cabbage loopers of BT so that we can actually get these to maturity. And I might actually have to start that today. So I'm not going to spray these right now, but maybe when I stick them back out in the shed. So it's morning time now. It's actually kind of mid-morning at this point, and I'm going to leave them out here for a couple of hours, and then they're going to go back into the shed. Tomorrow I'll maybe keep them out for 3 or 4 hours, put them back in the shed, and I'll go back and forth until they are used to the full blazing summer sun, the full blazing summer heat, and kind of the wind pressure that we have. We're trying to acclimate them so that it's not a complete shock shoving them straight out into the garden. If I did that, there's a good chance that these would just shrivel up and die. They'd turn into a little crispy thing. So we've got to ease them into it, but I really don't want the bugs to get them the first week. So I think before I put them back later, I will mix up some BT and spray them because they're gonna need it, I think. Pig, pig! Look in the bowl, dude. Yummy. Good morning, boys. How are ya? I'm working on the garden today. I am. As you can see, Mr. Long Ears, aka Christoph, he's doing fine. I haven't heard any more coughing. How are y'all doing? They're doing well too. You guys are jealous of the pigs again. You guys need to get a handle on that. Jealousy's no good. So the heat has broken, but that doesn't mean that it's not still hot. And so the plan is to do at least 2 beds a day, and at that point, by the time the seedlings are fully acclimated to the outdoors, they'll be ready to put in the ground. I am so dang excited, but also I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about this fall season. I'm fully prepared to lose the entire crop. I do have a plan B for winter vegetables, but here's to hope. Good morning. I've been actually spending most of the morning chatting with my rabbit friends about what's possibly going on with my new silver fox buck as far as that hotspot goes. It looks actually a lot worse today. It's been a couple days since I first noticed it. He's grooming a lot, and I'll show it to you. It might be it's not the worst thing ever, but it's not exactly lovely. And I have two suspects of what it might be. I think it could be ringworm, but it also could be fur mites, and I'm gonna just treat him for both so that it will take care of both. And he's isolated right now. I moved him out of this cage and stuck him on the front porch, and I did just buy something to help me sanitize the cage down here so that we don't just continue reinfecting him and the other rabbits that are out here. The rabbits that are out here are all retired, and so there's not a lot of like putting each other in the breeding pen and the potential for cross-contamination that way, but still, I want to get the cages nice and clean, and I'll show you how I'm going to be treating for mites. Now this is probably extra label. This is how I treat for ear mites. What I have is a bottle of ivermectin, and I just put 1 drop in each ear when we are dealing with ear mites, which really isn't that frequent. And I think I am going to drop just a tiny bit on his skin as well. It looks like a hot spot like you'd see on a dog. I think I mentioned that before. And I don't see any flaky skin on him. The only part that's flaking a little bit is around that spot there. But other than that, he looks good everywhere else. He's so pretty. This red in here is from the Sharpie that the breeder put in his ear. There's something with her record keeping. He had Sharpie in both ears. I think this ear had green, and then she gave him his tattoo. But looking in there, I don't see any signs of ear mites. But yeah, I put an antifungal cream on this spot earlier, and he has licked it off. I'm essentially going to stick this on the back of his neck like it was a flea treatment for a cat. Again, I'm not a vet, and this is not me trying to give you vet advice. I'm just showing you what I'm doing here. And 1 drop in each ear. I did the ears last because I knew he was gonna get to shaking. Oof, you trying to climb me? Guess that's all right. Ringworm is transmissible to people. If it is that, so I've got to wash my hands and everything really well. I'll probably end up changing my shirt after this. But yeah, I'll keep you updated on what's going on with him. I expect he'll be fine by the time it comes to breeding season. This is just one of those things we've got to deal with, and fingers crossed it's just a hot spot and nothing more, but we're treating him for all the things regardless. Anyhow, I'm gonna end the vlog right here. I'll see you guys again soon. No, I'm sorry.